Yes, but meanwhile we'll get started. So I started working on these slides with Bob, looking through our photographic collection, because due to all the beer during Servoy conferences, our memories are a little fogged up. So going through photos, we tried to reconstruct when did this all begin. And then we tried to rebuild 20 years of Servoy. But we could only get till 2009 because we don't have enough time. So the second part of this session is going to be on the next. Arya, when is the next ServoyCamp?
Yes.
6 months from now?
No.
It's so much fun. You should do it twice a year.
Yeah.
And then maybe, Bob, on the next one you can fly in.
Yeah, so this time the timing just didn't work out.
Yeah, it was getting busy at work and those kind of things. All right, so we're going to talk about 20 years of Servoy, but only the first 10. And Bob, I just realized that Johan is the only original employee that's still here.
Yeah,
Well, still paid for by Servoy.
well, paid for by all of us.
Yeah, he's outlasted us yet.
Yeah, you have.
So we're going to start with the early history, and for that we have this slide. So before Servoy, so when was Servoy born? More or less in this era. I studied at the university with Jan Blok, but he wasn't working for my company then, which is PDM, as you can see in the middle, kind of. And FileMaker came out with a new API, and I emailed it to Jan Blok, and I said, "Can you build something?" And he said, "Sure. What do you want?" And I said, "I would love to do SQL inside FileMaker because the default database engine is terrible." And so the next day he shipped me they literally loaded the SQL program in one night. And it became quite popular in the FileMaker world, I think a few thousand customers. And so with Clickware came to us, I think you came to us, Bob, not when you saw the thing? Is that right?
Yeah. I had a bunch of corporate customers who needed SQL stuff, and it was just a nightmare. Imports and exports to get data in and out.
Yeah. And so then we agreed that Clickware would become the American distributor of the SQL plugin, and Bob and I developed a training together, which was quite successful actually. We made more money on the training than anything else.
Yeah, that's actually true.
We should do the training again, Bob.
That's a good idea. They still need it, poor bastards.
And so that was so Jan Blok was still working at Baan Research, and Baan is an ERP vendor now owned by Infor. And finally I was able to convince Jan Blok to come work for us at PDM. And he said, at Baan I spent a lot of my time doing research, so I'll come work for you, but I still want I want to do half of my time, I want to do some hardcore research. So he started working for PDM, and then he said, "Okay, so what do you want me to research?" And I had been working a little bit with FileMaker, but most of my programming was in other languages because I thought FileMaker really sucked, and I still think that. I can say.
True.
So I said to Jan Blok, I started programming a bit in Java, but I also thought Java sucked, so I was in between those worlds. So I have a 4GL background, mostly in Turbo Pascal, a little bit in FoxPro, a little bit in Uniface. And I said what we really want is a 4GL, but then it produces Java code, because Java code is just too hard for me to program in and to work with. So Jan Blok started building a little research project, which initially was called BASE, and then we renamed it into JFM, Java Fast Modeler. And so Jan Blok was supposed to demo it now, but he's not here yet, because our other surprise guest is Jan Blok. He's going to be here in a few minutes, if he doesn't crash his car. So we will ask
Talking, still talking.
Still, yeah. So, well, we'll fill the time, Bob, because we can go back to the link how JFM became a company. So we built this prototype, and I think it took him a few months. And I showed it to Bob. I'm not sure if it was at this conference. It was at the previous one, not this one. And we showed it to a couple of people, and then we all got distracted with other stuff. So Bob was got all into a new consulting company, which heavily failed. What was the name of the company, Bob? I forget.
Stratosoft.
Stratosoft. Oh yeah, Stratosoft was supposed to bring all the best FileMaker developers together, but the owner was a bit of a thief. So that's how Bob was getting distracted, and I was getting distracted together with Johan on a new project in the Netherlands, a big e-commerce system, which completely sucked up all of our time. So all the PDM people, which were 6 by then, went to work for, including Sanneker, went to work for Consumer Desk.
Don't forget that I already worked with JB at Baan.
Oh yeah, you worked years for
That's why I know JB.
Yeah, you know from Bania. I forgot about that. Yeah.
The first time you know me.
Does anybody write articles for Wikipedia, by the way? Any of you? Nobody? Because somebody needs to put this on the Wikipedia page of Servoy.
We'll get ChatGPT to translate the video.
Yeah, and then just put it all up, because then the whole history is up there. So, so Bob was distracted, we were distracted with Consumer Desk, but then this conference came up, this particular one that you're looking at now, and I'm at the bar with Bob, and Bob goes, "What did you say, Bob?"
What will be it?
Well, at the time, I had a bunch of big customers because of the SQL plugin. So I had like Disney and Ford and E Entertainment Television and all of these companies, half of which don't exist anymore. But so I said, "Hey, look, guys, there's this thing." And I asked John if he had it on his laptop. He said yes. And I said, "You guys are going to want to see this." So we literally left the bar, drinks in hand, went back to the room, and we did a gather around the demo.
Yeah. I remember Bob, somebody falling off his chair. Who was that? Somebody who literally fell off his chair.
That's probably me.
No, Jay Welshofer, the product manager of FileMaker.
Oh yes, yeah, there was that too. Yeah, so we were like, hey, so check out this thing. And so basically it functioned like a 4GL, except we hooked it up to SQL data sources and multiple SQL data sources, and we created a customer order detail demo in less than 3 minutes. And then we deployed it to a native client. And they were like, I don't even care how much, when can we get this?
Yeah.
And that was kind of really, for me, that was the inspiration that, hey, look, people will pay money for this.
There is the star of the moment.
Oh, he's live.
He's coming in live.
He's coming in live.
Coming in live.
Oh.
Hey!
I'm like, just turn on your Zoom, man. Come on.
All right. So Jan Blok, you're just in time because we got to the demo time. So we did the introduction. We did the just to catch you up quickly. We caught up where it all started, and now it's time for the demo. That when we showed this to a few people, Bob said we should build a company around this, and so I came back to the Netherlands. Planned a lunch with Maarten and Jan Blok, and we all agreed we're going to start a company around JFM, Java Fast Modeler. What a great name. We should rename it back to Java Fast Modeler. It's a good name. And just to give you an idea on what we demonstrated that all started it, Jan Blok was able to ship me the original version. And the original version of JFM is 2 megabytes in size. And I'm going to launch it now. Can you count when I hit enter how long it takes to launch? Can you start a stopwatch? Let me go to the right window first. I just need to get the right command to start it up. that's the one. Yeah. Oh, you just started it, sorry.
Boom. 2 seconds.
It takes about 2 seconds. I'm gonna hand it to Jan Blok because he knows how this works.
145.
Yeah, this sound is very flimsy.
Oh.
It's a very static audio.
Okay, let me maximize it. By the way, my name is Jan Blok.
Good to see you, man.
Get it closer. Close.
Hey. Huh?
He's behind you.
What?
Oh.
Huh?
Hey, Bob.
Ow! So!
Long time no see.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Demo.
Yeah, I know. So this is JFM. It's really old. Let me first show the about.
23 years old.
It was started in 79,
97, yeah.
and I think this build is from 99 because that's what about it says. And it was developed by PDM. Servoy didn't exist yet. So let's make a new solution and see if there are any things you recognize. Also, the files were called JFM.
I think we should go back to this version because it's so much quicker than the current Servoy.
Yeah, but the user interface has
2 megabytes.
has so many glitches. It's
Work on the phone.
okay. So we have 2 forms here: orders and order details. And well, I can switch between them, as you can see. There's nothing on it yet. Let me first make a relation. I think this is all will somewhat look familiar.
It already had relations back in 1997. So is this the one that has the graphical relation builder, which never made it to the final product?
Yeah, I will show it. Yeah. So let's put some fields on, and well, we can first switch the design here or to browse. So this is it browses just the records. It's, didn't do Unicode yet. So let's go back to design. Let's the portal here using the relation. I thought I did make the here I did make the incorrect one. And didn't make the solid one. So now we should be able to use the relation. So select the wall.
No multi-select?
No. Not so sure.
And shift select?
Shift. So this is a portal. I think anyone has seen the first versions of Servoy, it's all very similar. So here you see the data. I did actually make some kind of steps because it's not like production ready here. So let's see what else to show.
It looks production ready to me. What happens if you right click on the bird? I'm always curious.
That's for the end.
Oh.
That's for the end. Let's see. Find mode. Find all. Let's see. Oh, here is find mode. Yeah, here's find mode. I forgot. So we should be able to do a query with. Oh, what was this? Something was
A light switch.
Yeah, those. No result. Let's see. Oh, it's way low. It's really. Ctrl F doesn't work yet. No.
I think some of the shortcuts were working.
Yeah, maybe some. Ah,
Jan, it's okay. It's 20 years old, man. Don't worry about it.
23.
Coding.
So let's add a button, and let's see if there is any scripting functionality in here. Oh, I forgot about the scripting.
It's one of those dialogues, yeah.
This is value list. Oh, I can show how this. Custom value list, values from orders. Oh, value list stuff is in here.
He's doing the whole CRM.
Let's see. I forgot where the scripting was.
There was one of these dialogues here.
No, I don't think so. Relations, value list.
Yeah, methods.
Ah, yeah, that's. So
how did you call this language that was in here, Jan Blok?
Read the documentation.
Yeah, it was before. Well, JavaScript existed in the browser, but there was no like Java execution engine for JavaScript yet. The current one is called Rhino. Well, at least that's one of the popular ones. So eventually we switched to Rhino, but before it was called J because well, this is all written in Java, and J it was a subset of Java. It was basically JavaScript, but not quite. So it's kind of similar, and well, this kind of worked, but early on I got some feedback. Oh, we really should switch to JavaScript because this is too cumbersome. So let's see. Server method. Let's see if we can have the agent say something. Talk or something.
You could connect it to OpenAI now.
Hello.
Can we get it back, yeah? The bird? It was killed with Smart Client. It was still in Web Client as well?
It is still. I had clients asking me what that bird was.
Here we have a script property. Oh, I call the method server, the ServoyCamp.
He's the one giving the calories in a banana.
So
You could ask it, yeah.
let's get back to browse mode and see if this executes. Oh, that's ServoyCamp. Looks as well.
Unbelievable.
I think one last thingy we can show. This is the metadata thingy. So we have orders and order details. Exactly. This one never made it to.
Where's Johan? Johan. Now.
A visual relationship editor.
It was there from version 0.
Yeah. 0.7. Yeah. So that's kind of nice.
Maybe we can get that back. That's,
Yeah, please.
yeah. A visual relationship editor.
And
Who
also-
needs that?
And also something. We did have
In the
some-
browser, though. In the browser, don't like Eclipse. Browser. 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 Browser.
So they had like things like anchoring working. And I think it was for a prototype. It was quite.
It was pretty advanced for a prototype, yeah. Oh, the beans, yeah.
Very old Monaco bean. And then
It's a miracle this all still works.
yeah, even on a Java version, I think it was developed on Java 5, maybe 3 even.
1.3, yeah.
Could be, yeah. It was really, and this is Java 8, I guess.
Java 1.8, yeah. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, Java is Java 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still. I think this concludes the demo.
There's one Easter egg on the bird, though.
Yeah. So there was a context menu here.
If you right click on it,
and you say
wait for it.
animate. So it refuses.
This was not
Well, the
very
good
well.
news is that you could reskin that bird as Clippy, the helpful Microsoft Clippy assistant.
And some people
So
do
that was
yeah.
that was advanced because,
Yeah.
Clippy.
All right.
Well, I can't believe that demo. I mean, that demo works better than my hips now. So that's awesome.
All right. All right, so that was JFM, the Java Fast Modeler. All right, then in 2002, was this in Las Vegas in Caesar's Palace? No, the other hotel.
It was in. No, this was in Palm Desert.
This is in Palm Desert? Okay, so 2002 we launched the first beta. Was that again at the FileMaker conference, Bob?
Yeah. You can't see it, but I'm wearing a Clickware shirt in that picture.
Yeah.
And so what we had done is we had FileMaker wasn't really super happy with us at the time. So what I decided to do is I had my sister-in-law call because she was a Marriott member and she got a suite for herself.
Yeah.
And then I took over the suite, and then we invited a bunch of people over by writing it down on a card and handing it out on the floor of the conference. And we brought a bunch of people up to this hotel room and literally showed them the very first Servoy beta.
And here Jan Blok is teaching Bob how to do a demo. That's what's happening in this action stuff.
That's also true. Jan was so excited to be here.
No, that's later on. That's later on, Bob.
No, still.
So then the final launch was, we decided to pick the Apple Developer Conference as our launching point. So we spent all the money we had to buy a booth at the Apple conference. And that's where you can see the tiny Servoy booth.
It's huge, the huge booth.
So that's all we could afford. It was quite expensive, I remember, not like $5,000 or so, 20 years ago.
I mean, yeah, it was really expensive for us.
Yeah. But the benefit of going to a bigger conference like that as a small company is that some other small companies think you're quite important. So even other companies listed our name in their booths. And I think I have a look how thin I was back then.
Well,
And
so the shirt that I'm wearing right now is that shirt.
So Bob really still fits it.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
barely. So those are another database system. OpenBase was one of the few SQL databases that would run on a Mac in those days. There were only like one or two that could. Postgres wasn't ported yet. And they listed us, if you look at the small print on the booth, they listed Servoy right on their booth. So we thought we were going to make it because we were listed on somebody else's booth. But then we found out, with that sales and marketing, this product is not, because the original idea that Jan Blok, Bob, and Martin and I had, we make a great product, we put it online with an option to buy it, and we will become billionaires, which we still are not. It never happened. Then the next year, Bob, your sister again booked us a room, but then what happened?
Well, this was Now they were clearly unhappy. So I had actually, as Clickware, I signed up for a vendor booth and then a breakout session room at the Marriott, and they had the Marriott cancel the room.
Yeah.
And
that lawyer
so then
told us that the manager called us and he said, "Here's the phone number of our lawyer. We understand if you're going to sue us, but FileMaker is bringing us $1 million in business, and you just have one room of $1,200."
Yeah. So then I could not other than conclude that it might be a good day to do something that had a little more impact.
Yeah.
So what we did at this particular conference is we had Frisbees made, we had cups made, we had T-shirts made that said, Servoy is better than FileMaker. We just handed them out everywhere. Like in the pools, we would throw in Frisbees to people. We would throw people T-shirts in the lobby. And then one day at the climax, when they had a guest speaker here, we parked the limo right in front. So everybody from the conference had to pass by a giant glass window, and they would see only this in the driveway. It was quite good. I think it's one of my favorite things we've ever done.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And the guy you see in the picture here is the vice president of product at FileMaker, and he was nearly killed by this limo. Yeah, so we decided to have a limo and bus everybody interested in Servoy to a nearby hotel, which is 10 minutes away. But in Phoenix, it's so unbelievably hot that you need an air-conditioned limousine. And we probably bussed over 100 people to the secret location. And eventually people were telling each other, take the limo to go see the product that FileMaker does not want you to see.
True.
That was a lot of fun. All right. This is just to show that Bob and I used to be very thin back in the day.
True.
I think it was your idea, Bob, to do the limo, and then we had to go to like a 24 print service that could print a magnetic sign on the same day, and then we realized that the sides of a limousine are fiberglass; they're not metal, so it could only stick to the front part of the limousine.
Well, I mean, we had originally wanted to do a helicopter, have a helicopter come and land right on the grass. And we just didn't have the cash for it. We didn't have VC at that point in time, or else we would have done that.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, so we decided there to start the Servoy Alliance Network. Who's still a member of the Servoy Alliance Network? Quite a few people.
I'm still paying.
You're still paying? You sold your company and you're still paying?
Yeah.
And that's how good Martin set up our billing system. I always said, even if Servoy would shut down, you will all still keep getting your bills because they're completely automated. And was anybody at this meeting, by the way? I don't think. It's mostly Americans, huh?
Yeah.
This is in Phoenix, 2003 or 4, I forget. Let's see if we get it there.
Well, I mean, this was like the original meeting where we actually took the FileMaker people that we know who are influential in that circle, and we got them in the limo, got them here, and then we gave them booze and we gave them food, and then we showed them the full demo, which for most of them was the first time they'd actually even seen the software run. Yeah. And they were incredibly impressed. I mean, Jan Blok created a product that no one at that point in time could ever conceive of, that you would have something as easy to use as a 4GL and still hook it to multiple SQL sources. I think in this demo, Jan, this was the one where you did the phone book of Holland and you joined it to some other Oracle source and MySQL source and a SQL Server source, and we still did the same customer order details from 3 different platforms. And I mean, that's just a testament to the genius that Jan Blok set up.
Yeah. And this is also the meeting where we announced the partnership with Sybase. I think he's presenting here. Oh no, you're presenting here. There was another photo with the Sybase guy. Here he is on the right hand side. So this is also where we announced the partnership with Sybase iAnywhere, with which we shipped for 10 years or so.
A long time.
Yeah. And in those days, it was probably the best database to ship with, because it was one of the few cross-platform databases. Postgres was then still very hard to run on Windows because you needed to install Cygwin, which, unless you're a geek, was very hard to run Postgres on a Windows machine. And then much later on, when Postgres became really the best database, and it became annoying to give such part of our revenue to Sybase, we decided to switch over to Postgres. Is anybody still running on Sybase?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh,
David Rockwood is also.
yeah?
He has a new license.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, if it works, doesn't it? All right. Then in 2004, we moved finally to Amersfoort. Because before that, we were based in Putten.
Yeah,
Like the Autoflex guys. Our office was actually like 2 blocks away from your office. It was to your old office. Your new office is a bit further away. Yeah. All right. I think this logo is still on that building. I saw it a few years ago. They like it so much they left it there. All right, then comes the who was at the first Servoy training?
Me?
Yeah, you were
The
there.
red jumper.
Yeah, you were there. And John Allen, who's no longer with us, was there. And Graham, were you not there as well?
Yeah, just looking. Looks like a very young
next to
person.
me.
Yeah.
This is 40 years ago.
This was in we did the training at the Sybase building in the UK, not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the size of the phone.
Yeah, the gigantic laptops, yeah. Nobody was on. Oh, there was a few people on Mac already. All right, then 2005, the first Servoy World Conference. Who was at the first Servoy World Conference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey. What was the first one you went to?
I'm trying to remember that.
Amsterdam was the first one.
Yeah, I was to Amsterdam.
Because the second one was Boston,
Yeah, Boston.
then Amsterdam, then Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. You never went back to American after Vegas, no. Yeah, it became too expensive. The problem is that as Bob knows, running the conference in the US was we had to put in like $60,000-$70,000 from our own money, and in the Netherlands we were about to run it budget neutral, which is typically what you want as a vendor, to not have to put in tens of thousands of dollars, and it was just not possible in the US. As Bob knows everything, and I know by now, everything is a bit more expensive in the US.
Yes, that's for sure. This hotel is right at Schiphol, right next to the airport.
Is this the one that had the 24/7 bar?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was not such a good idea.
That was the best part of the conference.
24/7 bar, yeah.
Yeah, now. I think I think there was a lot of the same people. If you look at that, at this slide, I think you'll see that there's a lot of the back of the heads of the same people that I saw today.
Yeah. Although I think this is Adam Klodner presenting here. He's
it is Adam Klodner, yep, from the support group.
Yeah. The gold one is you?
Which one?
Oh yeah, on the left. Yeah.
I was already involved in 24.
And this
Conference
is
preparation.
this is the then Servoy crew. Sonic and Joas.
Yeah.
And Mark. What happened to Mark Norman? I haven't heard from him in a while.
I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know. I kind of lost touch with them. But there's, Sonica, Javas, Jan, Blok, and our Fred, Ed Callahan.
Yeah.
Boy, man, those were the days, man. How did we get so old? God. Wow.
Do you remember my speech at this conference, Bob, on how I started it?
Yeah, so Jan wasn't quite the comfortable in front of people as he is today. So I did a big wind up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jan Aleman. And clap, 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 he comes out and says, I am so excited to be here. Pause, pause, pause. Yeah, he wasn't quite as dynamic of a speaker as he is today.
Yeah, I was very nervous for those kind of things. I remember, yeah. Now I just have a beer before I have to speak, and then it's all good. And then, so who remembers the first hackathon? Who was there at the first hackathon? You was. Yeah. You won.
Wow.
Yeah, Arya won the first hackathon. Yeah. What did you build?
I don't know, some charity thing.
Well, the charity thing was later. That was quite recent. That's like 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he started in
I did it.
2006.
I did it together with Marcel because you did it in team.
Yeah, you went together with Marcel, yeah. Yeah.
I found the program from the first Servoy conference.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I'll email you after.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, but there was some charity thing you built.
Right. All right, and this one is what few people know is that Bob, especially at the bar, he could do a Servoy demo without a computer.
Yeah. So I would explain it with my hands, literally. And this was one of those cases where I think the AV went out or something wonderful. Take a look at that 3-foot diameter cord coming out of that laptop,
Yeah.
Getting any of the AV to work was a miracle, but yeah, back in the day, I had that sweet pager on and a sweet power pack. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was pretty sweet, back in the day, man. Come on.
Is that a BlackBerry or a flip phone on the side?
It was a flip phone, of course, man, with the one they get to pull the antenna out on. So, hey, man, we're cutting edge. It was color screen too. Don't worry.
So for the people that don't know your famous hands demo, can you do a short version?
First, you have customers. Then you have orders. Then you have order details, and you put them together and you join them. That's all you get.
All right. And in 2006, we also introduced the first Servoy Awards. This is the moment where you can surprise me by giving me an award. So Jan Blok and I never got an award.
No.
Bob, did you ever get an award?
No.
Come on, people. What are you waiting for? Can we get an award? Because we handed out hundreds of awards. And I'll tell you a little secret about the awards. First, we would come up with a list. Who should be getting an award this year? And then we invented the titles, the corresponding titles. So which is the one you got in 2006? Community something? Yeah? You still have them?
Yeah.
All right, good. One is broken.
Oh no. So careful. I do remember the award, I don't know which one. I know it was with Jan in a car in Amsterdam with the award. He needed to park somewhere, but it was not really close. Jan said, do you carry them? My God. Very heavy. Pure glass. And I was, yeah.
There was a problem though, Jan. You gave me the award for most FileMaker conversions, and that killed my business because they kicked me off the FileMaker list.
Thank you very much.
When was the first camp? When was the ServoyCamp, the first ServoyCamp?
2000. ServoyCamp 2009.
2009, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in Den Haag, huh? Yeah.
What happens in the
Den Haag.
States?
Yeah. Drinking and the flaming arrows, followed by real golf at night with glow sticks. What could happen? It was the best time ever, Harry, I have to say, still, all these years.
Right, let's go. Our booths were always very creative because Bob and Eva would go to a bar and then they would come up with slogans, and one of them was "Can sexy be easy?" And they also decided to make this into a postcard mailing, and they emailed it to like a few thousand addresses. And at some point in time, I'm at a conference and we were exhibiting, maybe it was this one, I'm not sure, or another one. And the guy comes to me, and he's a little nervous, I can see it. And he pulls out the postcard, "Can sexy be easy?" And he puts it on the table and he looks at me. "This postcard nearly got me fired." But my boss says, "What kind of postcards are you getting here at your job?" And in this era, in this woke era, there's no way you can actually say these kind of things ever again. So I'm going to delete this slide. Can sexy be easy?
My God.
All right, and then, so for the people that are from before Servoy 4, we used to have our own IDE, just like Jan Blok showed, pretty much built on top of that. But after many years, because you guys were already using Eclipse in Java.
Yeah, I think since 2001 we were using Eclipse, but it wasn't ready for usage out of the programming.
It still isn't.
True. Browser. 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 Browser.
Come on, Johan, you can build it tonight.
No.
Building.
I will see the code, Bob.
Hey, listen, I'll give you the same 50 euros that I gave you to stop all of the objects from collapsing in the side of the window. I'll give you the same 50 euro for the browser implementation.
I have an Amazon gift, right?
Yeah, don't worry. I got you.
Yeah, so finally at version 4 we switched to Eclipse, which gave it better debugging tools than we had before. Although at the end of the day, I think Jan Blok and Johan were big contributors to DLTK to make that all work. Because without DLTK, we couldn't move to Eclipse, not?
Yeah. For some reference, DLTK stands for Dynamic Language Toolkit,
Yeah.
which was an extension for Eclipse, which made it possible to use JavaScript inside of Eclipse. That opened a whole lot of doors. Yeah.
Is there still a project that's going on, DLTK?
Yeah, but not JavaScript part.
Ah,
We maintain it. So the ECMA stuff is completely done by us.
alright. Alright. Free unbranding functions, free menu plugin. Ooh. And then finally we made it to Las Vegas. That was the Marriott, not Bob?
Yeah, that was the conference that Brenda put together, and she did a great job there. We had, as you can see, black shirts. I still have that shirt as well. Next time I'll wear that one. But this was a fun time. We were able to, the big move to Eclipse was very jolting for everybody because it was, everything was completely new, and the way that you did things, your workflow was completely different. So it was a big fundamental change in the platform. We just wanted to make sure that we had enough technical resources and we had enough technical sessions and help sessions. And the thing that I always love about the Servoy community is the willingness to help everyone, and how eager everyone is to help the success of everybody else. Be it laptops in a bar, be it ServoyCamp. I just think that this community is one of the few that really care about the success of each other and not just looking out for themselves.
And speaking of which, Johan had an announcement for you last night, Bob, which you're gonna love. Can you repeat?
Browser? The browser? Are they doing it in the browser now? That'd be good.
So Bob is deeply into web client. And what did you say, Johan, yesterday about web client?
Oh, they're all going to be removed.
The what?
The smart clients, web client, and NC, after 03 next year, are all gone.
Discontinued, Bob.
Oh, well, I guess that solves the browser problem. Yeah, so I've used web client now for many, many years, mainly because in the education thing, change is not one of their favorite things. And once you get a server stood up, to get a new one through compliance and through security, blah, 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 and firewall, it takes literally about 8 months to stand up a server. So I've had the stealth server running since 2010. And web client's going away. That's sad, Johan. That's sad, man. Make it work. I mean, Jan Blok just showed a demo of a talking bird from 20 years ago, man. Surely you can make web client work.
I can feel it keeps working in 03 release. For ages.
Yeah, and then it will maintain for 2 years.
It's going to be supported for 2 years, Bob. Just about the time when you want to retire.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Good.
All right, so a brief recap of the Servoy versions. Who has used Servoy before 2.1? Just one? Two? But Rafi, you were at the training. Was that 2.1?
2.1.
Oh yeah?
It may have been 1.2. I thought it was 2.1 that I started.
I even got a version that wasn't called Servoy.
J to the B?
Yeah, you showed me literally from the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Weren't you told about people like that when you were younger?
Yeah.
Sexy can be easy.
So Harjo was actually at one of my FileMaker trainings. For a long time, together with Bob, we had developed a SQL training for FileMaker programmers, which was a nightmare to give, by the way, because Harjo was one of the few ones that actually got it, but most FileMaker programmers didn't get SQL at all, so they were just wasting a day of their life. Because at the end of the day, they still couldn't write, with all respect for FileMaker developers, but for some of them. But it was very hard to teach them SQL. Maybe it was my way of teaching. But Harjo got it. So at the end of the day, I go to Harjo and I go, oh, I have a prototype I can show you, but just let's do it outside, because the training was in the FileMaker building. And doing a demo right there, I thought was a little too much.
Yeah, you probably have seen J2DB then.
J2DB, yeah.
Yeah, the name evolved from base, like database thingy, base, JFM, J2DB, Servoy. So it's
Yeah, something like that.
But the jars are still J2DB, which is nice.
Yeah. It still is, not? Yeah.
It takes.
That will be removed.
Yeah.
The package name will continue.
All right. And what is your oldest installer that you got to?
2.1.2.
2.1.2.
Yeah, the installer that I still have. Yes.
Wow.
And it's still, you are running it, not today?
Yeah, I have it
I was
running.
working with
Yeah.
the CRM solution from Martin.
Oh yeah, the Bob CRM solution.
Oh, I thought Martin made it.
No, that's the one Bob made.
The nice aqua buttons and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one Bob. Oh, you should show it. All right.
You gonna
then
show?
the
You want to show?
The what?
and he's going to show the CRM, the demo CRM that you built in 2.1.
Yeah.
Cool thing.
Oh, some real. So then in 2.1 we finally got CSS. And that was quite unique because most Java Swing apps didn't do CSS at all, no? So you build that yourself or?
Yeah, you matched the classes and the stuff to the desktop user interface, which was indeed really uncommon.
Yeah. So, and then in 2.2 the world famous headless client came out. Has anybody used the first version of headless client in which you could, in Java server pages, you could... yeah, 3, 4, oh. I think we mainly released it because our own CMS had to be moved, not? And we used a CMS that we kind of developed for consumer desk. And then we wanted this website to run Servoy, so we needed a JSP to be able to call to Servoy to get data out of it. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I only remember it was JSPs only back in those days. So we didn't have a lot of choices for servlets of Git or JSPs.
But the funny thing is that this version inspired that we thought, why is not the entire thing running in the browser? That came after this quite quickly, not? Web client, yeah. Let's show it to Bob. Maybe Bob recognizes his CRM. Oh yeah. Is this yours?
No.
Is this the Martin CRM?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So. Welcome to 2006 or 5, whatever the hell it was.
2004.
Oh,
Yeah.
even worse.
Yeah.
Hey, but don't worry, because those skeuomorphic buttons, they held up well over time.
It's funny how quick that changes here. All right, so headless client was the big thing in 2.2, and then in version 3, the real big thing was the web client, and that was already Wicked based or not?
Yeah, it was Wicked.
Yeah.
So the web client, I think, was probably one of the most jaw-dropping and unique things that I had ever seen, and I know that for especially for customers of other 4GLs, the whole browser-based experience at that point was fairly new, and it was very arduous to build web applications. It still kind of is. So, but back then, to be able to draw graphically on the screen and then press a button to deploy it into a browser, and then press another button and deploy it into the Java native client, and then, oh, by the way, let's do data broadcasting between the browser and the native client, and nobody had ever seen anything like that at that point in time. It was absolutely revolutionary, and I still think it still works today. It's still one of the coolest things I think that the Servoy platform brings that really nothing else does.
Yeah. Yeah, because like 2 or 3 years later, FileMaker decided to copy it with their web client, which is still a pretty poor implementation.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Speaking of FileMaker, Bob, there was this one point in time that FileMaker wanted to buy us, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So I actually went to FileMaker. We were still kind of like two dogs in a park, kind of butt sniffing. And so I went down there and I actually did a demo for, first for the product management, and then later a couple of people higher up, Dominic Rupil, who was the president of FileMaker at that point in time. And they were impressed, and they didn't know what to do. They were very confused because we basically Blok created a tool that had everything that everybody ever asked for, and it worked in a similar fashion to the workflow that their customers were used to. And so they just didn't know what to do. Yeah. At the end of the day, they decided that we didn't have any money and we go broke in the next 6 months. And here we are, 2023. So
they had a nickname for us, not? Three guys
sure they did,
three
at least.
guys in a windmill.
3 guys in a windmill. I forgot about that. Yes. We were just 3 guys in a windmill. I think it turned out okay.
And we did, during that time, we did eat a special type of cookie.
Ah, stroopwafel. Stroopwafel. Yeah.
All right, we reached until 2008, and in the next ServoyCamp, which hopefully is within 6 months, we will do part 2. From 2008 to 23. You want to go all the way to 23, Woody? Yeah. Maybe tonight at the bar, if you buy us some beer. All right, I think it's time for the, what is it, the lightning talks?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Bob, as well.
Hey guys, great to see you again, Jan Blok. Great to see you, my friend. Aleman, always great. Hey, Johan, great to see you. Robert and Hario, thanks guys for inviting me here, and good luck to you guys. We'll see you down the road.
Bye, Bob.